Well, well, well. We're back again for another season 10 of Contest of Speed Action. This is only season 2 of AM3, but we saw some bangers of races last season. We're here at Australia, the traditional home of starting F1 in real life, the streets of Melbourne in Albert Park. I am not your usual commentator. I'm Kid Petter. You can catch me tomorrow night on Tuesdays doing AM2 typically, but I'm filling in for Shelly this evening, and I'm joined alongside a debutante of sorts in the commentary game. It is Death Storm. What's going on, Death Storm?
Not a whole lot, kitten. How's you going, man?
Just crushing some bush lights, watching some dudes drive around in elongated circles while telling a story. This is what I do. Riding along with Jay Walker. He'll be the first one that we get this season in qualifying. A late addition, actually. I think we picked him up not too long ago in a 5-lap lobby. He was excited to join. He showed up to Abu Dhabi, I believe, for the preseason test 2 weeks ago, and did he win? I think he might have won.
He actually won on track, but he had penalties, and he ended up sprint race. He was in second, and the feature race of sorts, he finished in third. So 2 podiums.
Yeah, that's good to hear. So we'll keep an eye on him. A 121.81, but it's actually going to be cost Steve. I was about to get to him. I didn't realize he was already setting a lap. He puts in a 119.233, only about a tenth off of pole time in EU4. Steve, typically a EU4 driver, known across the Contest of Speed community as their favorite punching bag. He is making, I believe, his first AM3 start in reserve tonight. He's a man of the world. He doesn't have that much time to race, but had an unfortunate DNF in the EU4 race this afternoon. Decided to give it another crack and he's starting off with a bang. 19.2. Might be good enough for pole. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, maybe not. But yeah, going back to the EU4 race, I noticed that it did rain, so drier conditions, maybe it could actually showcase his pace.
Yeah, indeed, and showcasing his ability to do flick spins is Case in Your Face, who has lost it coming out of the final corner. He was just in a practice session doing that quite often, so nice to see where he's picking up where he left off. Red Mask, super sub. I don't think he's full-time. He's in the other Haas alongside Jay Walker tonight, but our favorite Dutch reserve is back yet again in the AM3 ranks. Nice to see him.
And he just had a 126.1 sitting in 8th.
Looks like he might have had some issues on that lap. I don't think that's a competitive one. Another guy who was really impressive. Ooh, Clay Funk is retired. I think that might be actually on purpose, though. He likes to start last, if we all remember that. Lightning McFrown was really impressive in the preseason testing. Fred a Tin Man, they're going at it way back feels like forever ago now, Death Storm, where it was the 25% races in France and Spain.
Yeah, what was that, like three weeks ago?
I think it was 4 weeks ago, actually.
But yeah, no. I have a feeling that Lightning McFrown is going to be up close toward the top, just like Tin Man will be.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to your power rankings in a little bit. I think once things kind of settle down out here, but you've been keeping a keen eye on all these drivers, and I think that quite frankly, the Lightning goes P3, but the overwhelming favorite for this championship, I believe, is Tin Man.
That would be correct on more than one level. I mean, as far as I know, isn't he doing double duty in EU4 as well full time?
Yes, he is. This is his career trajectory is very similar to Electric Blade, who had just picked up playing F1 from the NASCAR ranks. Both these guys are pretty top level NASCAR league racers, but Tin Man picked it up 2 years ago, liked it, wanted to join a league, so he messaged me. We go back a few years, and I'm like, hey dude, Funny you tell me. Funny you come to me, because we actually are opening up an AM3 division where you can kind of learn how to race. Got progressively better and better last year, and he has really started this game off. He's logging a lot of hours on the game. Every time I check my friends list, I always see Tin Man playing, but he is fast on this.
Yeah. It sounds like me. Prelude to last season, you and Andy knew me years back, and the opening of the AM3 division, Andy recruited me and my teammate Warren. So
yeah, and
situation.
And now we're all one big happy family. BK says he does Tin Man. I think BK is still waiting. He finished P2 in the championship last season, but I think BK is still waiting for cross-platform. I don't think he has the game on PlayStation, only on PC.
No, PC, yeah.
Yeah, so unfortunately, no BK for now, but hopefully we will come across him soon.
Speaking of which, returning, at least from the top 3 of last year's standings, I had Clay Funk in P3 from last year, and he's the top returner from Season 9.
Yeah, good point. Even Porge Power isn't able to race full-time on Tuesdays. So, unfortunately, the top 2 not in COS at the moment. But hopefully they will be before too long. But yeah, Clay is definitely an interesting one. He starts last every race. I'm not sure if that strategy is really going to work this season with only one set of hards and one set of mediums. He kind of lucked into a couple of wins last year, got the right safety car at the right time a little later on in the race, was able to make that work. But obviously whenever he is in the lead, he can't control the race. But we'll just have to see how...
Again.
Oh, Steve again with an 18. I mean, he's just out here plucking away at it. Big fan of what Steve's doing. Yeah, overall...
I don't mean to cut you off. Last corner, Motown over here has his wing cut off. He hit the pit lane barrier.
Oh, you know, it is a tricky pit lane entry around here. You're already losing traction coming out of that final complex. Easy to stuff it in the wall, I guess. As gonna run along with Steve in this Alfa Romeo. Got a yellow flag. I believe that was an Alpha Tauri. It was that Spectre on a hot lap, losing it out of the vaunted turn 5. At least I think it's turn 5. I actually forgot to write down the track map.
Hold on. I think I have you covered somewhere.
It's the right-handed turn that's usually flat out, but it's very finicky on this game, especially if you're running lower downforce.
That's turn 5. As everybody knows, not only you can see the different layout, a bunch of corners have been reprofiled. Easy Rider going through the reprofiled 8 and 9 down into the newly expanded turn 13.
I've got to say, I'm not a big fan of it. I think it made the race in real life a little bit better, but oh man, it's just really weird. Maybe it's just something you have to get used to, but
I mean, I never was a fan of Australia to begin with.
Yeah, same. That might also be a problem for me. Check the comments. Hey, got a lot of people checking in. Uh-oh, Steinman, in case in your face, have gotten into some sort of incident, it would appear. Steinman's gotten a 5 grade place penalty. You don't see that too often. But
No, you don't.
That's unfortunate for Steinman, who's going to be starting a little bit further back than he probably wants to. Not really sure what happened. Is this case possibly on a hot lap? I think at the moment. P11. 147.6. A little bit of oversteer.
Yeah, he's definitely on a hot lap. His time going to the line, he's going to be 119.7. So
not terrible for Case. He is definitely... He's a bit of a wild card, I would say, in the grand scheme of things this season. Doesn't have a ton of league racing experience, but he can be pretty quick. Still struggling, though, with the new car.
Consistency is going to be key for these new cars. The way how finicky they are, consistency is definitely going to be key for everybody.
Yep. I definitely agree. I think, I mean, even before we went live, I mentioned it. I think across the board, doesn't matter if you're EU4 or AM3 or AM1 or EU1. I think, these first few weeks at least are going to be genuine wars of attrition. Lots of DNFs, I expect. For some of these guys, it's going to be the first time really racing competitively in a league setting with these extremely fragile, sensitive cars on throttle. Luckily, a little bit lower down. I mean, AM3 and AM2, these guys can lean on traction control, but that only helps you so much. It's even difficult for those guys, as we're seeing now. As Motor has retired from the session, it looks like he might have lost it at a 5.
Yep. But no, I agree with that analysis fully. I feel like and everybody knows that in AM3 knows my specific power rankings. I think it's going to fluctuate probably up until about round 5.
Yeah.
Maybe round 6 it'll start settling down a little bit, and we can actually see who the cream of the crop is.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to find out. I mean, some people are just more adept at picking this game up. It suits their driving style with these cars just a little bit better. I, for one, am pretty terrible at it. So this might be my last season league racing in COS. I might just have to retire and become a commentator. I don't know. A lot of things on the table. Hopefully as it goes along, it's a little easier.
Don't forget the master strategist now of McLaren, sir.
Oh, true. Yep, you're right. I wouldn't say that I was exactly a master strategist, but I can only go as far as my drivers took me. To be fair, Steve pumps in another couple of quick sectors, but he is going to hit the pits early. Tin Man is on a hot lap, but man, Steve is just the class of the field right now. 7/10 clear. Up at 2 a.m. I believe he's outside of London at the moment. 2 a.m. and he is firing on all cylinders apparently. Easy Rider Yoey, who I gotta be honest, I had never heard of until about 20 minutes ago. Up in P3, pretty solid stuff from him thus far. Got a couple guys further down.
Way to throw me off. Way to throw me off there, Easy.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I do want to give a shout out to Valentine or Valentine. I'm not sure if it's Valentine or Valentine, but he's also reserving here in AM3. Third driver currently. Hopefully, I've actually raced against him before in another league, so wouldn't mind seeing him go full time at some point. But he's in the good old Red Bull today, replacing Whitjay, who we should congrats our favorite Ghanaian. I believe he's on his honeymoon, so Whitjay, if you're watching, congrats on the sex.
Gotta love it.
Hey, it is interesting though. Here's Jay Walker 453. He's also Ghanaian, so we have 2 Ghanaian drivers in AM3. A bit random country, but shout out to Ghana for always beating us in the group stages of the World Cup and producing 2 AM3 drivers this season.
Hey, we're going down now. We just need somebody from where were we missing last season? Brazil?
For what?
I think we were saying something about a Brazilian last year. I don't remember.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm just talking gibberish for whatever reason.
It's fine. And once I get a few more of these bush lights in me, I'll probably start talking gibberish too. So it's whatever. Jay Walker's invalidated. That's not good news for him if he wants to move up the field a little bit. AM2 champion Ecos Saint in the comments saying Steve is doing what he thinks a Merc will do every week. That is correct. Saint, he sure is. Actually, fun fact about Saint, I let him trade rate me in a. That's probably not good for the sponsors. I let him trade R-word me in fantasy football last night. So.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's not a pay league. I basically just did it for a mock draft, but then I was playing FIFA, so it was basically just I was on auto draft half the time. My team's terrible in that. Case in Your Face does go P3 and he retires on his in lap on his in-lap in turn 1 and 2, so at least he sets a good lap. Easy Righty Joey has been disqualified. Did he spin in the pits, perhaps?
I think that's what happened. I don't know what's going on with that glitch, but that's one that's keep on popping up. If you spit and block the pit lane for even a second, it's gonna get you every time.
Yep, that happened to me actually in the AM1 preseason test at Abu Dhabi. I was so concerned of blocking the pit lane there, and it's a bit of a precarious exit. I throttled out of it so I wouldn't stand still. And unfortunately, JDTV was coming out of the pit. Did not see me. I was completely unsighted as I'm trying to flick spin, and he just completely destroys me. Right into the side pod. T-bone. Yeah, not ideal. Plenty of things on this game that need to be addressed, but with it being EA Sports, not a whole lot is being addressed. Oh boy, that is an Alfa Romeo. That is the Alfa Romeo of Steve. That was Steve going for a pole time. He spun coming out of 5.
Yep.
Not sure who to watch. Who should we watch right now? It looks like everybody.
I'm watching Lightning or Frown, but I think he made a mistake going out of sector, coming at the end of sector 1 because his time is not relative. Yeah, he's 2.5 seconds off, so
not great. I don't think anybody's gonna be able to touch that lap time from Steve. Steinman has invalidated as well.
Yep.
So really, Red Mask maybe. Oh, you know what? I forgot to. It's this first race of the season. I forgot to put up the intervals in the top right hand corner. Hopefully everybody's enjoying the new overlays that Roland and Tebow have been working on the broadcast. Shout out to them. So we're just gonna go with Red Mask here. He's in the final 2 corners, probably the worst 2 final corners on the planet in terms of grip.
Oh yeah, you gotta be patient and patient and patient.
Yep. Red Mask does improve. He's gonna be starting on the 3rd row with his teammate Jay Walker 453 for Haas. So good work from Red Mask, who is again our favorite Dutch super sub. So yeah.
That looks like to be qualifying. Everybody else is in the pit lane. We're just waiting for everybody.
Yeah, that's it. And for all the drivers who are listening, hopefully most of them are. You actually might want to add everybody in the Discord, Destorm. Formation laps are off because of the formation lap glitches, and the glitches that the formation lap causes. So these guys will be on very cold tires as they set off. So hopefully everybody can make it through, but I'm not going to hold my breath.
I'm calling Carnage turn 1, and that's no disrespect to anybody here. That is just going to be the nature of the game for a little bit.
Yep. Well, here we go. Since we don't have a formation lap, we'll run through the grid right now. Steve 555 from Ireland with love is P1. Doing a pretty good job reserving from EU4 in the Alfa Romeo. Tin Man's in P2, the championship favorite. Jesus. Forgot how to speak. Case in Your Face in P3, Lightning McFrown in 4th, Jay Walker in 5th, Red Mask in 6th, Steinman 7th, good qualifying from him, Valentine in 8th, Gru in 9th, and Motor in 10th. Those guys are a little disappointed, I'm sure. Spectre, Dead Dad, Dennis, Clay Funkin, Easy Rider Yoey with the DSQ, going to be rounding out the grid. Whew. Getting a little nervous. Getting butterflies in your stomach yet, Deathstorm?
A little bit. I just want to get this underway and see what develops. See how right or wrong that I actually truly am.
Yeah, all will be told here in short. Looks like Tebow. Hey, Tebow, I thought you were. I did tell Tebow I was going to invite him. But he is currently in the chat yelling at people. yelling at Steinman. Steinman must have messed something up with his telemetry. Which shout out to Tebow for running the tests. Yeah, for Tebow. He's the one that sets up the tasks. Our favorite little Frenchman. Got a podium in AM3 reserving last season at one point.
Yeah, I think that was Mexico?
It might have been. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
Hold on.
Ooh, someone might have pressed start a little early here. It's gonna be tire pressures are extremely important. Overheating the tires with how much you're slipping and sliding around with these 2022 spec cars tends to create some problems. So if guys can get the tire pressures down, I think that's the way to go. And I think that we're mainly going to be seeing a medium to hard or hard medium strat. But you only have one set of each tire, so be careful. Anyways, here we go. 5 lights.
And away we go.
And we are off from Melbourne to start this season. I'm getting just terrible camera angles.
Tin Man right out of the gate into turn 1. The contact made with Steve.
Whoa! Tin Man's gone. Tin Man's gone. Steve cut through the corner. Couldn't find a good camera, and that's Jay Walker is gone. No, that's awful for Jay Walker coming out of turn 2. Not sure if he got any help or if he just got on the throttle a little early with these cold tires. And he is in the wall. That is unfortunate for probably one of the favorites for podium here this evening.
Yeah, I had him pretty highly sought after the preseason testing for sure.
Yep. Well,
so, I'm already wrong. Yay!
There you go. Looking at some big winners and losers. Easy Rider Yoey is up 6 spots from his disqualified position of last. Up in P9. Who else? Dennis up 5 spots into 8th. Spectre is into 6th. Yeah. From P10, so good starts from those guys. Unfortunately, Tin Man, who looked like he might have the advantage into turn 1, lost it, and he is now all the way back in P13, and Gru's last running driver here in 14.
I mean, at least they're still running, so they still got a chance, and now the field being bunched up, it'll work out in their favor. Yeah. But my two preseason favorites going in are now down to the back of the pack, and 3 out of my top 5. So this will be interesting to see how true they could live up to my word. No pressure, guys.
Yeah, they're making you look like a fool. Maybe that's what they're doing. Steve's got a fan in the chat. Shyam565 giving Steve a little love as he is leading, even though he mowed the grass. I think Tin Man he spun right in the middle of 1 and 2, so that definitely held everybody up. Nobody pit. Obviously, mediums and hards are the go-to tires. Don't expect to see softs except for the final stint of the race here today. If there's a late safety car.
Yeah, I was doing some practice over the weekend. I can't get the softs to go more than about 7 laps before they start dying off, so
yeah.
If there's a late safety car, we'll see who's going to dive in and stay out and try to play the track position game.
Right. And I mean, it is notoriously a bit difficult to overtake around Australia. Turn 1 is the best opportunity for that, but it is a very awkward corner to go too wide into, just the way it's designed. But also, I mean, every corner after the DRS straights are very difficult to pass in. So track position could be king.
Yeah, I mean, I have personally, I can make better moves going into 3 than I can 1 because for some reason I just can't get the traction out of 1 that I can out of 3. I don't know. Yeah,
3's a little bit sharper. It's not as fast. A lot less can go wrong, I guess. In there, so I would probably agree with you. That actually might be the best place, but Still, everywhere it's a little touch and go. The flowing nature of this circuit kind of just makes it very difficult to pass. Nonetheless, a guy who doesn't have to worry about passing anyone is Steve, who, as we sit, he survived the carnage, and quite frankly, that carnage wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Only one DNF. Unfortunate for Jay Walker. I thought that we'd see guys with damage spun around, but since no one pit, looks like Jay Walker's really the only one that had any damage at all.
I'm looking at it right now. Believe it or not, Dennis has a little bit of damage as well.
Well, that's unfortunate for Dennis.
I mean, it's not enough, obviously, for him to warrant pitting, but we'll see. Just keep an eye out for him, see if he stays pat or drops down the field.
Yep. One of the big gainers in that sequence. Let's see if we can see anything on. I mean, it looks all right from the camera, but obviously, thanks to Tess, we do have the telemetry. As these guys are getting a little bunched up, safety cars in this lap, and they're a little bit all over the place back here.
Whoa!
Yeah, I think Steve is bunching them up a little bit. It would appear, and kind of like the strategy from around here. I prefer going a little bit earlier for the leader.
I mean, yeah, if you could gun it out of that last corner, ideally, while everybody's still there. I mean, ideally, that would probably be the best place to take off, at least for me, but I'm usually not near the front to test that theory, unfortunately.
I think he's gone.
Go now.
I think he's gone. He understeers a little bit into the penultimate corner there. Spectre gets a 5-second time penalty for ignoring the yellow flag. I'm not really sure what that means.
Overtaking possibly under the safety car?
Yeah, it could be. Ooh, who's that? That is an AlphaTauri in the background. I believe
Captain Dead
Captain Dead is spun in the background. Case doing a good job up in P3, and then there's a bit of a gap already. Top three kind of dropped everybody else. Red Mask and P4 on the hard compound tires. 1.5 seconds already back.
Tin Man with a double. Nice double overtake.
Oh, missed that. Unfortunate. Sorry, Tin Man. Can't put that on your personal highlight reel, but Tin Man doing good things early. He's got to get through this field ASAP if he wants a chance to...
Any chance at this, yeah.
But who knows? We could have 6 safety cars like EU4 did had. So hopefully not. Knock on wood. Don't want that to happen. That Tin Man's definitely gonna be one to watch here.
Battle for 6th is getting a little spicy between.
And Case. Oh, Case has lost it, and I don't think he's gonna be the only person to lose it.
Not in that spot. Nope.
Yep, out of
that curve and it's done.
Yep, out of the high-speed chicane, he's facing the other direction. It's honestly kind of lucky because typically, whenever you make a mistake around there, you end up in that inside wall. Too wider on the final corner goes Spectre and Valentine. That is not advised. Pretty dangerous stuff. Really tricky traction area there, but Spectre gets it done. P4. And look at this Red Mask up in the podium spots. But already, you can see that gap. Yeah, you can see that gap between the mediums and hards. He's already dropped 3 seconds, but holding on right now. Spectre and Valentine fighting behind him. Good news for him, but these guys have to get a move on it before this train gets too disconnected from the leaders.
Oh, yeah. The hards will come into their own eventually, so if he stays where he's at, watch for Red Mask, watch for Drew. I mean, he's on the hards too. Maybe Drew might be able to say something toward the end.
Yeah, I do think if you're starting at the back, the hard to medium strat is a little OP. Just because you're going to have a lot more pace in those mediums. They're going to go off eventually, but compared to the hards, you're going to be in good shape. We have, I believe that is Jay Walker in the comments. Unlucky for me, super frustrated with myself there. Nothing I could have done. Rooting on my teammate Red Mask. Hopefully he can get good points for the team. I'll be back stronger for Bahrain. Unfortunate, Jay Walker, but you're alright, and that's all that really matters. At the end of the day, it's a long season, 15 races. and go get him next week.
Glad to see he's okay from the infield medical center.
Yeah, he's been checked and released from the infield care center. Folks down here, Dr. Sid Watkins Ghost, taking good care of the jaywalker.
Captain Dead Dad already
5-second time penalty. Already in the pits. Wonder if he does not have a front wing. And I have been told that is not ideal for downforce.
No. And he's going on to the softs. I don't know how good of a strategy that's going to be.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm not sure how long the hards can go, but I would assume they could probably go the distance from here. I wonder if maybe he just wasn't really thinking that through. Nonetheless, Lightning McFrown doing a good job keeping this in DRS range. Just barely. Yeah, just barely. He's hanging around, but you know, I was a little concerned Steve was going to really run away with this, considering just how fast he was in qualifying. 8/10 clear, 7/10 clear, something like that. Ridiculous advantage that Steve had in quali as he sets another fast lap, 23 flat. And this is a Steve that you typically don't see too often. I'm not sure if he's just been practicing non-stop since the EU4 race this afternoon, but clearly on it tonight.
4/10 faster than his previous fastest lap. He's just starting to mow away now, and he's out. Oh, Lightning just spun it right around.
Oh, Lightning, no! And yeah, good thing ghosting is on for these guys in AM3. Not the case in AM2 and AM1. So you can hopefully get going without impeding on anyone. Tin Man now, a close friend of Lightning McFrown. He's on his tail, so I think this is going to be an easy move for Tin Man. Yeah, looks like he's just going to let him by here.
Definitely. I don't see Lightning getting his tires up to temp. Or down to temp, I should say.
It takes a while to get them back into the right range. Denny all over the back of Steinman. I'm not sure if it's Denny or Dennis. I say both. Oh, and Clayfunk all over the back of him. Look at this.
What the?
Oh, and they're side by side. That's why they reprofiled that corner, even though we don't like it. This guy's good side-by-side scrap from these two, and Clayfunk's gonna come out on top. Left plenty of room for each other there. Love to see that sportsmanship. Deathstorm pass it on. 3-second time penalty for Valentine in P3. And this gap is just growing and growing. Spectre in second. These guys actually did get red mask eventually. Sorry, I think I missed that. Yep. But Steve, 6 seconds now. Lightning McFrown was really the only one keeping him in check. And it doesn't really help that P2 and P3 also have penalties.
Are you sure Steve is the punching bag at EU4? Because it's definitely not looking like it right now.
Well, I'm just saying in the community chat pretty much every single weekend or week or day, basically, Steve is kind of gets trolled a lot. Big Hamilton fan. But yeah, Spectre is coming though. This is a good battle here for P2. Is Steve again just gaining half a second at a time, hand over fist. I'll tell you what, that'll be an entertaining interview if he does win. Knock on wood again. Sorry.
Not only that, I think if Red Mask 2 on top of it gets onto the podium, that'll be just as entertaining, if not more.
Yeah. I've never heard Red Mask speak. I'm not sure how well he speaks English, but I was messaging him a little bit earlier, and he can type it good. But Spectre goes wide into turn 1, going side by side with Valentine, and that is going to open the door up again for Red Mask. We're probably getting somewhat close to the point where those mediums and hards overlap in terms of performance, as the wear gets a little much for those softer compounds.
Yeah, definitely. I predict that probably within the next couple of laps, those hards are going to actually be faster.
Yeah. Yep, that's usually how it works. Easy Rider Yoey, big shout out to him in P5 right now, up from last place. didn't see how he got disqualified. Probably parked it in at the entrance to the pit lane. But he's up there in P5 having a really good day. For someone who we really don't know anything about, I'm not sure where we found him or when we found him, but here he is in P5.
Yep, I'm wondering if he's a friend of Case, honestly, because he seemed like he was the only one. Dead Dad retired.
He is not.
In the pit lane?
I know for a fact he's not a friend of Case. I think someone must have just found him in open lobbies. Yeah, Captain Dead Dad said he's going to give it the first 2 races of this season. Because he was getting really frustrated last year at the game, and this game's a lot worse. So hopefully he sticks around as a reserve at least. But not boding well. There, retiring the pits on the first race.
I mean, it's not. It's a steep learning curve. I personally would like to see you stick around. Just keep working at it. If you want advice, ask any of the admins, ask any of the higher up tiers. I'm always listening for trying to help out lesser talent myself. So
don't ask me, because I suck at the game too. But
and that's coming from somebody who's an AM1.
But yeah, well, not for long. I think Motor's been passed by a Tin Man. Now Valentine is the first one to hop off those mediums, but these guys were close enough. That Delta, he dropped all the way back to 12 in that pit stop sequence. So these guys are doing a pretty good job so far. We've seen a couple of spinners, but for the most part, this is a lot cleaner than I was anticipating this evening.
Yeah.
Knock on wood again. It's nice that I set my notes in my phone and everything. It's right here on a nice wood table. Comes in handy.
Easy Rider is now into the podium positions. He made a pass.
Yep. And that's a little aggressive defensively from Spectre. But look, if you find yourself on the outside going into turn 1, you are probably going to get pushed off about 9 out of 10 times. So that happened to Easy Rider Yoey. Hopefully.
One thing you need to look out for. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm just looking at it. Spectre has 11 seconds in penalties.
Good lord. Okay, I didn't even know that. Okay, well, that's a lot. So he's got to,
but
he's got to get a move on it, I guess. But yeah, these so from third, actually, kind of Easy Rider Yoey just dropped out of. Yeah, he's back in. But third place down to 7th is Lightning McFrown, goes around the outside of Motor. That's a hell of a move from Lightning McFrown. These guys are all on a DRS train now, so maybe they can catch up, but boy, 11 and a half seconds is now the gap. We are seeing Renaissance Man Steve just absolutely dominate this race and probably reserve for the first and last time in AM3.
I might be seeing him tomorrow night at AM2. Who knows?
Yeah. He's got to work tomorrow night. He told me earlier. So unfortunately, he won't be able to test out his skills there. But I think it would translate pretty good, to be honest. This is, I joined watching the race kind of late, so I didn't really see what happened to him. But he was DNF'd. So, tonight we spell redemption STEVE. Lightning McFrown on the comeback trail, though. Made that move on Motor. He's gapping him pretty quickly, almost in DRS range on Tin Man. These are 2 pretty good comeback drives for these guys, and if you want to win a championship over the course of 15 rounds, gonna see some adversity. You gotta get back through the field, and that's exactly what these 2 guys are doing.
Tin Man, he's proven me right so far. Let's see. I mean, he didn't pick yet. He's sitting in the top 5, and honestly, he might be on pace for a podium if he keeps this up. Oh, Steinman's out.
Oh, Steinman, where's that at? Let's see if we can catch this.
And a safety car.
That's going to be safety car numero dos for Steinman. And he lost where Case lost it earlier. And that is
a bad thing for Steve. Everyone behind him is going to come into the pits except for him and Red Mask. Everybody from third on back I would expect to get off those mediums and get onto the hards.
I think Red Mask right now is probably in range. This might mess up his race a little bit, but I think he's going to have to jump onto those mediums. Maybe hope for a late safety car, because if there isn't, yeah, I mean that's going to be really tight. Probably looking at lap 15 restarting here, so 14, 15 laps on those mediums might be a bit much, but I think it's a necessary evil, unfortunately, for him.
Oh man, I feel bad for those two guys. They literally just missed the pit entry.
Yeah.
Just terrible, terrible timing. All that favors Valentine, Easy Rider, and Tin Man right back into the race.
Yep. And I think guys like Tin Man, Lightning McFrown, who have shown really good pace, I think they might be looking forward to this. Well, they definitely are, but might be able to claw in for a win. Steve is in. I think the real question is going to be Red Mask, though, on those hards. He is coming in as well. Yep, I think he had to. Valentine on the on these hards. I think yeah, probably everybody else is going to be comfortably staying out.
Yeah, they already pitted.
Oh yeah, they already pitted. Oh yeah, Gru on the mediums. That's going to be interesting. But yeah, this could work out for Red Mask. It could not, but we have two EU4 reserves right now, leading the way in AM3. Just like I'm not going to say it. It would have sounded really messed up, so I'm not going to say that. But two EU4 guys leading the way here. Actually, 3 reserves overall. Valentine's a reserve too, so top 3, all reserves. Look at that. JK Racing Fan says AM2 is going to be superior to AM1 again. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. If it is, it's because it's going to have some great commentary from myself and Andy Wu. Actually, no, that doesn't even make sense. Smeg in AM1 is honestly the best commentator I think I've ever heard on these esports situations.
No, I definitely enjoy his commentary.
Yeah, so I can't. Yeah, so I can't say too much, but yeah, Smeg is definitely goated. But yeah, AM Tuesdays are always hashtag lit and hashtag cool. Case in your face is picked up a 3-second time penalty. Corner cutting under a safety car. That is a bit taboo. Don't want to do that. Electric Blade says LOL. I'm not sure what he's laughing at, but glad that we can make the AM2's Kimi Räikkönen. Glad we can make him laugh. Steinman says, damn it. That is a quote straight from the source of the man who brought out the safety car. He says, I hate it here, and he said he's about to go inject 5,000 marijuanas. Be careful, Steinman. My cousin actually passed away from a marijuana overdose, so I think he injected. I think he injected somewhere around 5,000 marijuanas as well, so just be careful. That was a joke. My cousin did not pass away from ODing on marijuana. But he did have to go to rehab for heroin, so good ODing on that. Anyways, Steve leading the way again. Red Mask in P2, Valentine in 3rd. Easy Rider Yoey 4th. Tin Man in 5th. Lightning McFrown in 6th. Spectre in 7th. Motor in 8th. Clay in 9th. Gru in 10th. Case in 11th. And Dennis in 12th are your runners. With about halfway through this race, we have lost Steinman, Captain Dead Dad, and Jay Walker. It's the second safety car. I believe that we will be going green this time around. Steve has absolutely dominated this race, but now he's got some. I mean, he had what, 12 seconds, I think, when the safety car came out, and now he's gonna have Red Mask on those medium compound tires, and he's gonna be looking to make a move, I would assume. Along with Gru back there in P10, he's gonna be someone to really watch out for.
Gru, Clay Funk slowly from the back. He's mid-pack again, so that strategy from last place, staying out of trouble, seems to be serving him well again. And safety car is in the spot.
Yep. safety car in this lap. Steve got a really good launch last time around, but it's imperative to get those hards nice and warmed up. Those hards, just in race conditions, take about 3 laps to fire off. So it could be, it's a risky proposition here for about 10 of these drivers to get those hards up to temp for this restart.
Yeah, it'll be imperative. If Red Mask has any chance at all, he's gonna have to get out and get a gap.
Yep, I think with those cold hards, Steve did a good job. He waited until after the final quarter to really start accelerating. He does get a little bit of a gap to Red Mask. Understeers into turn 1 to Steve. Red Mask might have a look now. It's still a little too far back. These guys are nice and packed up. Who is this? Clay Funk and Motor going at it. P8, that is now Clay Funk, and got a little bit of a traffic jam back here with Spectre and Lightning. Spectre around the outside picks up another time penalty. Might as well just add it to his collection. He's able to lock it down as he spins out of turn 5. That was a nice move, but unfortunately it did not work long term. Clay and Lightning McFrown now working, or now on.
This is going to become a gaggle from 6th on back to about 9th, it looks like.
Yep. So, a little bit of understeer from Clay Funk in the chicane. Lose a little bit of momentum. Motor pearls it, and here goes Motor, who I think has played this game a grand total of twice since it came out. Looking for a move, did not quite get his foot in there. Discretion is the better part of valor for Motown Motor City.
While watching that, Case in the background in the left-right chicane spun out again.
I hate to see that. See Tin Man and Easy Rider Yoey going side by side through the final corner. Tin Man looks like he is out on top in that battle, up to P4 for the Red Bull. Going to be interesting to see as he catches his teammate. If he lets him by, because Valentine again is just reserving tonight in that Red Bull. So,
not only that, think of it long term. Valentine's on 7-lap old hards, and Tin Man obviously has the better tires, the fresher tires. So, yeah. For constructors' purposes, I would be playing second fiddle right now.
Yeah, it'd probably be smart, but you know, Valentine also wants to make a good impression here in AM3. So I think he's doing that so far. Might want to make some friends. Doesn't hurt to have friends. Surprisingly, and this just goes to show how clear Steve is right now. He has already broken DRS on Red Mask on the alternate strat on those medium compound tires. Clay Funk has lost it. Where is this at?
Same chicane Case did. That claimed another victim and another safety car. Oh man.
And now we're getting kind of close to the soft territory. It might be a little too long still. But honestly, if you're good on your tires and you're towards the back, if you're like a Spectre, well, not even really Spectre, but I don't know. Maybe if you're like Dennis or Case. Case is in the pits. Let's see what he does. He's getting off these hards. It's going to have to be softs because you only have one set of mediums.
Yeah, there's no way. 10 laps, if you're good on your tires, it's a stretch, but it's doable. Oh, he's going on to the mediums.
Oh, no, he's putting on his old mediums.
Oh, no. I don't know if they're going to make it.
Yeah, they're definitely not. I don't know if he realized that he only had one set of mediums. Obviously, a new thing this year, which is not the case in real life. But luckily, I mean, no harm, no foul. He was in 11th, and now he's just still back at the back. Maybe he throws on the softs. It's probably what I would do, just to try to make something happen.
Maybe he's gambling for another safety car, and then those softs will become OP. I don't understand the call.
I think he just didn't realize that he's got two sets. He only has one set of mediums on this game.
Well, we'll see what he does.
Yep. We sure will. Electric Blade, Tin Man Mafia, out in full force tonight. 10-man Mafia Wild on tour. Back up into P4 after a spin in turn 1. Still not sure, didn't really get to the bottom of it. I'm not sure if he was helped around, if he lost it by himself. Either way, he was back in 13th, 14th, something like that. And he's really fought his way back here in P4. Kind of drive you expect from a championship favorite like himself.
Yeah, we'll see what happens now. Those looks like Red Mask's strategy of getting onto the mediums as early as he did may have worked.
Yeah, I mean, he had to. Case has put on the hards again. But Dennis,
he realizes he's gonna try it on the softs. Oh, I'm gonna be keen to see what he does now.
Dennis is going softs. I like this call for Dennis, I think, because, you know, Dennis doesn't really have a whole lot to lose, to be honest. You know, you're pretty much guaranteed points at this rate anyways. So, you know, might as well throw something at the wall, try to animate the race a little bit. So you're definitely gonna have to keep our eyes on good old Dennis back there in P10.
Be interesting to see. I don't know. I think it's going to be finicky. I don't know how he is on his tires, so we'll find out. I guess this will be the test.
Yeah, we're about to find out. I think it's still going to be really close on those softs. I'm not sure. I mean, you said about lap 7 is when they really start to fall off.
Yeah, I've had a problem after 7. Then again, I'm a little brutal on my tires on this game for some reason. I don't know.
Well, he's going to have to take him 10. And, you know.
And safety car is going to be in. We'll see what Steve does and where he takes off from.
Really interesting here. I've only drank 2 Busch Lights. So, going to have to get working on that. As Steve's leading the field back to green again. And maybe I only really throw down on Tuesdays. Who knows? Steve here.
Or maybe I'm just that good of company.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Maybe. Steve gets a great exit.
Oh, wow.
Steve gets a great exit, and they've already dropped Valentine, who is kind of holding these 2 up behind him. And actually 3 of them all in a line here. But another second. 2 corners, and Steve has opened up a whole second. Lightning McFrown spun. Coming out of 2, and that's... hate to see that. Hopefully,
McFrown tapped the wall. It looked like 2 going into 3.
Yeah, let's check and see if he has any damage on that front wing.
We'll find out.
Is that a left front wing, possibly? End plate missing? Looks like it is. Yeah, it is.
Yep.
I'm not sure if he's going to be able to finish the race like that. He's gonna need another safety car now. Unfortunate for him.
Oh, man.
Cam Tizzle says he's in AM2. I'd say he's in the mix for the championship up in AM2 this year. He has asked what has gone on so far. Electric Blade, another championship favorite, Cam Tizzle's teammate at Alpine in AM2. He responds, Steve domination, and that is 100% correct. Steve is currently tracking to have tied for the shortest AM3 career in history if he wins this race, because he has been absolutely destroying everybody today. We've had a couple safety cars that have evened it out a bit. Red Mask is on the alternate strategy, and even with the tire advantage, he still can't quite catch Steve. Is that motor? Motor has lost it in turn 1. Steve domination though. Electric Blade, thank you for responding. That is probably the way I would put it as well. Dennis on Case in your face, and probably going to see this quite a bit. Another 3-second time penalty for Case. Back there and picks up another warning. Let's check the penalty situation right now on the El Screeno. 3 seconds for Valentine, 9 seconds for Spectre, 9 for Dennis, 12 for Case, and 3 for Motor. and not ideal.
I honestly thought it was going to be a lot more than that, a lot more drivers.
Yeah, I did too, but we've also had 8 laps on their safety car, so.
And DNFs, like
yeah.
Yeah,
but overall, I think this race has gone a little bit better than I thought it would. Still time for these guys to prove me right, though. I thought we'd have a lot more incidents than we have, but so far, everyone has really given each other a lot of space, and I think that all 4 of the DNFs were individuals making their own mistakes. So good to see. Hopefully no dramas in the chat afterwards.
Red mask coming out of turn 2 looked like he extended a little bit. Might have been a warning, so he might be on a couple.
Yeah, true. Tin Man NP4, and he, to be honest, he's not really gaining on his teammate for the evening. Valentine.
I think he's just sitting back. He knows he has to come.
Oh, Gru!
Whoa! Another safety car. Very late.
And this is. Car. Oh, and who's that? That is. Gru, and Spectre is stuck as well. He's.
Oh, Spectre's.
Yeah, he is spun in the same spot. Gru is just...
Okay. Oh man. Well, at this point in time now, I think everybody here is guaranteed a point.
Everybody is guaranteed a point, and I think we're also guaranteed to see these guys hop onto some some softs. This is the window to make these softs work. Someone might stay out, but even if you're Dennis, who's made it up to P6 on those softs, I think you're still going to put on another set of softs just to be safe. Motor in, or case is in, motor is in.
Oh, Denny with a 5-second.
Oh, and that's big. That is big for Dennis. Yeah, that is big. And what is this? Red Mask has come out of the pits in front of Steve.
Wow.
What do they call it? Immersive pit stops this season, or this year on the game. Maybe Steve just flubbed his entry, and we've seen what can happen. That usually does not happen. I think that might be down to the immersive pit stops.
Yeah, or the fact that everybody just bunched up after a safety car, whichever one, but
yeah.
We'll see now.
Thank you to Andy for reminding me to say, if you're a Sky Cube or Sky Glass customer, press the red button on your remote to catch the highlights from earlier in the race. No, but actually, let's thank our actual sponsors, NordVPN, Fanatec. Shoot, I used to have a piece of paper that had them all saved. I don't anymore. Race Labs. There's a new one too that I already forgot. Apologies to our sponsors. I will get that rectified tomorrow. I'm just reserved here, man. I wasn't really prepared. I had it to a track racer. I had it to a. That's one of them. I'm still missing like 2. But I had it to a point at the end of last season where I could recite them off the top of the noggin. But I do not.
I need to start doing that myself. Yeah.
Yep. And actually, I don't even really have to, because they do with the overlays that are now on the screen. The bottom right, you see the COS. It is revolving. And whenever it revolves, it actually displays a new sponsor. So, pretty cool. SimLabs and Petrol Vibes. That's right, SimLabs, Petrol Vibes. Shout out to those guys. Track Racer, NordVPN, Fanatec. I believe that covers all of them. Petrol Vibes.
Lightning's into the pits for a fresh set of softs. Let's see what happens now.
Yeah, gonna be a mad dash here. Everybody on softs. This is basically a 5-lap lobby here. So we shootout. Surprisingly, Red Mask beat Steve, who has dominated this race, out of the pits. And it's game on now, buddy.
It'll be interesting to see what happens now for sure. Valentine there in Q3. I wonder how much that penalty is now going to affect him.
I think that's really going to hurt him.
Everybody from 6 on back, with the exception of Lightning, is on penalties as well. So let's see if Lightning can get through the traffic. If he can, contend with Easy Rider. If not, at least he's looking at still a top 6, which, considering, is not all too shabby.
Not at all. With Valentine's penalty, I would be... If Tin Man gets a run on him, I would be surprised if Valentine tried to fight it off. At the moment, Tin Man is very much back in this race. If he can get through that. But yeah, Red Mask and Steve, class of the field so far today. Steve especially, but now for the first time, he is under a little bit of pressure. He's got to get this move done on Red Mask, and we're about to see what happens.
Let's see how far Red Mask waits.
Gonna be fun. Looks like he's still bunching them up here. Rest of the field, only 10 cars remaining, starting to get together. He's still bunching them up into the final corner. It looks like he might go for it. Yep, there he goes. Steps on it, and this is gonna be Valentine. Actually gets a better jump than Steve. Not sure if he's gonna be able to make a move though. He's gonna back out there.
Status quo as they were. Top 3, top 4.
Status quo so far. Motor run a little bit wide, cutting the grass on the exit curb of turn 2.
Oh, Steve going on the outside of Red Mask for the lead.
Oh shoot! Oh shoot! Oh shoot! And that is a good move from Steve, as he picks up where he left off, picking off Red Mask, and Norm see his return to this race after just 3 corners.
The Tin Man now is on.
He's all over the back here too. Valentine, you can see he's running a lot less downforce, or he might just be on the button. Really challenging Red Mask for P2. He's gonna have I thought he might have a run there. He doesn't. Tin Man's just kind of backing off, watching this battle happen. And is he gonna send it? This reprofiled corner. Oh no! Red Mask loses it. Valentine loses it, but he catches it. Unfortunately, Tin Man plows into the back of his own teammate, who is half spinning. And I think that might be a considerable amount of damage. It looks like his right front end plate is gone, I think.
Looks like his right front, yep.
Oh, and this is exactly what Steve wanted. Everything's coming up Steve tonight. It's really his only challengers who just made mistakes. Red Mask all the way back to P10 now. Just got on the throttle a little too early coming out of turn 10. That sucks for him. He's having a really impressive showing. And now Tin Man's just got to be in survival mode for the rest of this race.
Motown is also without a wing as well.
Hate to see that.
He's got to go a long way now to get to the pits.
Steve's fan, Cheyenne 565. Really loving what he's seeing here tonight. AM3, the season opener in Australia. We've seen some drama, but Steve has been on top of it all, dominating this race. And now with 3 laps to go, he is back in the lead by 2.5 seconds. Case in your face, and Spectre going side by side for P7. He's going to get that done.
Now Valentine may be able to hold on to that podium, considering Tin Man's damage on his front wing.
Oh, Case runs a little wide. He's going to lose the spot that he just gained. Steve pumps in another fastest lap, and Valentine goes fastest. 21.320. Good stuff. Good showing from Valentine. All things considered, yeah, look at this. 2.5 seconds now. Back to Tin Man, and he is kind of holding up Easy Rider Yoey, who is looking for that final spot on the podium.
On his debut too. That's a great ride from him for sure.
Did we see any of him in? I don't think that we saw him in the preseason races, did we?
No, I've not seen him at all. That's completely unknown, and quite frankly, just blew me out of the water this evening.
Yeah, really, really impressive showing from him, and could be even better. Could get an interview if he so wants, which will be coming up shortly after the race. For the top 3, yeah, Steve leads Valentine, leads Tin Man. I think Valentine is going to go ahead and he is kind of walking away from this. I think he's going to be comfortably in P2 by the end of this, unless Easy Rider Yoey can start or get past his teammate Tin Man and start cutting into that gap.
Yeah. So who do you think is your driver of the day thus far?
I mean, I hate to go with the chalk, but it would be really hard to say anyone aside from Steve. He's been just so dominant. So maybe the domination is more based on not making mistakes. I think that's probably the big thing. But overall, I think he had such a pace advantage as well. Remember, before that first safety car, after about 12 laps, he had put 12 seconds on the field. So, talking about a second a lap kind of gap for Steve. Really impressive stuff. But Easy Rider Yoey is pretty close. A huge crash in the background. And Spectre and Case. It is oh my god, and we caught a pretty good angle of that. I think they were going side by side. Maybe someone lost it. We just saw 2 cars flying over top of each other. And they will get points, so good. At least they will score because they have finished 75% race distance as per the cost rules.
For DNF, I think it's all but 3 laps, honestly. So they still got points regardless. It is lap 28.
Yep, they're good. There's only a lap and a half left. Actually, less than that. Steve is coming across the final corner, about to start off a new season in AM3 with a reserve win. Unfortunately for Steve, he's probably not going to be able to enjoy it because typically if a reserve wins in AM3, we stop letting them race. But what Steve says, thanks for playing.
Easy Rider, what happened to him?
Oh no, an Easy Rider. He loses it out of the final corner. You hate to see that. He's been having such a great day so far, but back to P7 he goes. Luckily for him. Plenty of points.
Up until this point.
Did he?
Case, why would you leave the session?
Oh, Case, you're not. Dennis has lost it.
Oh man.
Just went way too hot into turn 3, but he's got it under control now. But yeah, Case, probably you kind of have to stay.
You went with the domination for the win. I'm actually gonna go with Tin Man, being from the back in turn 1, lap 1, and fought his way, and he is gonna get his podium.
Yep.
Championship protagonist, showing why. Even with the damaged wing, he's gonna limp on home and get that podium for Red Bull.
Indeed, and that's important for any championship chase. But Steve is going to cross the line in first place here, taking a unlikely victory, possibly his first contest of speed win. He's been around for a really long time, usually in the bottom tiers of the EU side, but turns out all he had to do is just come over to AM3, and he turns into Lewis Hamilton in the flesh. So good job. So good job from Steve. Big time congrats to him. We'll try to get him in for an interview. But I mean, it is probably like 3:30 in the morning for Steve right now. So it might be a little too early. Valentine in P2 as a reserve, doing a good job. Hopefully he sticks around full time if he's doing stuff like that. Tin Man with a championship caliber drive, salvaging what he could from a first lap incident, gets back up into P3, Lightning McFrown in 4th, and Red Mask in 5th. Finishes out the field. Fun race. Glad to be back.
Absolutely.
If you want to add these guys to the party,
me too. I'm writing down the results. Give me 2 seconds, my friend. If you want to do that before I can, please. Yeah.
Oh, Spectre says It says Case spun in front of him, DNF'd, and he got caught by it, so he caught him before he had ghosted. He says effing BS. Not great, you know. There are kids watching, so I'm not going to say that, but hopefully you understand what I mean. Oh yeah, Electric does say he thinks that Steve won a race last season or the season before. I actually do kind of remember that. I think he won a EU4 race last year. Maybe Hungary? Shyam says, excellent commentary, guys. Thank you, Shyam. For me, personally, if you like what you heard, you can check me out tomorrow. That's my normal job, doing AM2 coverage. But yeah, me and Deathstorm, big fan. Happy to have Deathstorm here with us. It is Shelly's job. I'm just warming the seat for this evening. Steve is P1. Yet again, Valentine in second. I still don't know if I should say Valentine or Valentine. Tin Man third, Lightning McFrown fourth, Red Mask fifth, Dennis in sixth, Motor in seventh, Easy Rider Yowie in eighth, Spectre Case round out the top 10. Gru, Clay, Steinman, Captain Dead Dad, and Jay Walker will not be receiving points this evening. But it was fun nonetheless.
See if you could get them in there, my friend, because I can't figure it out because I'm old and.
Oh, geez, dude, I'm a couple years younger than you. Let me try to. Let me see if I can get them. No, hopefully these guys hop in. I'll go ahead and check the old Discord and see if anybody see if they can join. Steve has messaged me.
Anything? There's okay.
Steve says he's already turned his PS4 off, which I kind of suspected, but I'm going to try to get him back. Okay. But you can go ahead and start. I think Tin Man will join. You want to do the interview? That's typically... Yeah,
I got it.
Yeah, I typically don't do that. Haha, got it. There you go, Steve. Come on. All right, we'll go third to first.
Gentlemen, congrats on the podium for first race of Season 10. I'm going to start with Tin Man over here. Tin Man, you were on the front row to start, and what happened on the first corner? Because we didn't get a good view of it, and we noticed that you went right to the back right away.
I have no idea. I did the same thing in EU4, but EU4 I think I got a little bit of an assist. Here, I just think I biffed it. I just sucked at that point for some reason. I don't know. I was trying to keep it off the guy, and I thought I had room to just, scoot up. And when I did, I got into him a little bit, and it got me sideways. Thought I caught it, then it snapped, and then it went around again.
Well, heck of a drive going from the back of the pack and proving why that on my power rankings list that you are the preseason favorite with a strong podium finish.
I want to add that I had underbody damage, rear diffuser damage, rear wing damage, and front right wing damage those last like 10 laps.
Well, we caught the front right rear damage, or the right front damage, but the rest
so
of
hard
it.
To drive.
Well, congrats on the podium, my friend, and quite frankly, showing why you're the class of the field so far. Hopefully, you can keep it up, my friend.
I hope so too.
All right, moving on to P2, my friend Valentine. You are reserving EU4, and look what happens. You stuck onto the podium. How do you feel about it?
Pretty surprised, honestly. I just this was a random last minute decision. Had a little bit of time, so thought, why not? I've only really raced in one or two leagues, so it was nice to be able to set, some competitive times and to really race with a few people in here. It was a lot of fun.
Well, glad to have you, and honestly, congrats on the podium. Hopefully, we can see you a little bit more in EU4 and maybe in some more AM3.
Most definitely. Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome, sir. And moving on to our race winner here, Steve. Pole and domination from the offset. Honestly, those safety cars jumbled up the pack, and quite honestly, I thought when Red Mask overtook you in the pit stop sequence that you might have had some trouble, but you motored right on by. What was it? Just sheer pace, sheer racecraft? What was it? Well, definitely, if you put in that much time, honestly, you're going to be fighting up toward the front, not just in this tier or EU4, but maybe in a higher up tier later on down the road. Congratulations on the win, and gentlemen, congratulations on the podium.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Mr. Steve does not have his audio shared, which is excusable. For the time of night that it is, but oh, you're on your phone. Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, that would be why.
Yeah, for some reason didn't pick up any of it, but we're happy for you regardless. Yep. For our ears only. We're a lucky group. But yeah, like Josh Storm said, big congrats on the podium. Tin Man, Valentine. Is it Valentine or Valentine?
Valentine.
Yeah! Let's go. I think I would. Yeah, we were kind of splitting. Yeah. We were kind of cycling through. I thought it was Valentine. Valentine. And of course, Steve, who. Steve, I hate to say it, but you probably won't be racing an AM3 again. That was a pretty strong showing. But yeah, you can check it. Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of guys had they ran into trouble at one point or another, but it really seemed like you and Valentine especially were probably the only two that didn't have any big issues the entire race. But yeah, that said, you check out EU3. That'll be tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern for all of the AM viewers. Be sure
to check me out at AM3 tomorrow night as well. So
yeah, and you'll be able to listen to my beautiful vocal cords. Will be extremely worn out tomorrow night for the AM2 season debut. Yeah, for Death Storm, I'm Kid and Petter. Been a pleasure, a privilege. Hopefully I don't have to do this too often. And Shelly can come back and do his normal job. But I was Kid and Petter, and been a lot of fun. We'll see you guys tomorrow.